Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian!
Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you're listening to our show. Yes, we're very excited. Tony and I are back. We had a week off due to calendar stuff.
Yes.
And, it's good to be back. Good to be back, Tone Bone.
Yeah, we got two this week.
Yes.
I love it.
We're going to kick this one off with one of our favorites returning, not just because, we can't figure out what to talk about. He's got new stuff, man.
Oh, yes.
Guess who are you?
Alex Guaraldi from Coppersound Pedals.
You got all like chill and smooth there, like Richard Grieco.
That was the goal.
Yes, Alex, you are back. We've had a couple of multi return guests.
Yes.
As of late. Tony's gonna figure out all the dates that you were actually on.
I'm going to do that. But there's a lot of them. Holy moly.
Ooh, I wonder if I'm in the top 10.
You know, I was supposed to
You're
do
in my top 10, man.
You're my top 5.
Oh, okay. See you after the show, Tony.
All righty. Bring the popcorn.
Yes. So we have we got a new pedal we're going to discuss and find out all the updates that's been happening over at Coppersound. And can you give, for those that maybe are just joining, just starting to listen to us, can you give us the 3-floor elevator pitch on Coppersound?
Sure. So we are a boutique pedal manufacturer out of Massachusetts. Our specialties lie in unique ways to blend hardware with analog and digital controls. If you'd like to see some good examples of this, you can check out our telegraph stutter that's got a Morse code telegraph key on it, or our collaboration with Jack White and Third Man Records, the triple graph. You may have also seen some of our stuff like our pickguard things that look like a Strat and Telly, had a pedal.
Yes. Yep. Not the pasta.
No. So that's some of the stuff you may have seen from us before, but we like to try to blend hardware and, analog and digital together. And we also have a whole DIY line that's flourishing nicely, which is really nice to see. And, we got a ton of stuff, I'd love you to check it out on our site.
Yep. We're going to get into a whole bunch more of that. We'll do a quick, little recap on some of those things and talk about your new pedal and talk about things that you got coming up. We have a couple of announcements really quick. Tony.
Yes.
You know how I mentioned that we have 10 more, the final 10.
Yes.
Tony Baloney pedals.
Yes.
That are for purchase for charity.
Yes. I remember.
Not through us. We are not doing the charity. Sam Jett is doing the charity. So we are just the middlemen, so to speak. But there are 3 left.
Only 3?
Only 3.
Holy moly.
So you guys got to jump on this, okay? Get those 3. Make sure that these all the dollars get to charity. What charity is that?
Something for music.
Hungry for music.
Hungry for music.
Yeah. Funny how you forgot the first word.
Yeah. Because I'm Sate right now.
Hungry for music, that is getting instruments in the hands of kids that otherwise probably wouldn't be able to get them. So thank you so much,
Thanks, Sam.
for coordinating this. And
That's
get yourself
really cool.
a really killer pedal. Honestly, it is a fantastic pedal. Also, we've got a new executive producer named Ed Rossler.
Oh.
And Ed says,
Hey, Ed.
Hey, Todd, I play both guitar and bass. More bass now, as the world is lousy with guitar players. Glad I still have mostly active original bands with folks who are still down into my 50s. Never been a cover guy. I have way too many instruments, a couple of assorted tellies, a couple of SGs. I really dig the early MIJ stuff made in Japan, for those that might be wondering. And a couple of cool ones, including a Univox Dan Armstrong copy.
Okay.
Just like Tony's.
Yes, I've got one of those.
And my Bury Me with my 1976 Ibanez Destroyer that I got in junior high. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, Dunable and Gildor, too.
Oh, I like guilds.
I keep a Tokai Strat. Tokai, sorry.
I would, no, Tokai.
Tokai.
Like a Kai?
No. Yeah, because we said Seiko is SA. Yeah. Tokai Strat around, even though I'm not a Strat guy. You know that feeling. Every time I sell a Strat, I just buy one again for some reason. I don't do that. My main amp is a slightly modded Fender DRRI. I don't know what that is, but okay. DRRI.
I have absolutely no.
I don't know if that was a mistype. We'll have to look that up.
Right.
I still have a Marshall Super Lead and a 68 Bassman, but my old Tookus isn't carrying that around anymore. For basses, I have an early 80s MIJ made in Japan, black maple P bass that rules. Black maple that's a great combo, man.
Yeah.
I like that. My daughter swiped my Squire Mustang bass to play in the high school marching band, so I don't get to see it much. There are far too many pedals in my house. Far too many.
Oh, do you know what the DRRI is?
What is that?
That is the Fender 65 Deluxe Reverb reissue. It's a popular tube amplifier that recreates the sound and features of the original 1965 Deluxe Reverb.
Yeah.
DRRI.
That's hilarious that we didn't get that.
Yeah, I just like...
That is one of the most popular amps on the planet.
That's a great amp, yeah.
Okay, I found the show after running across your interview with Sasha Dunable. Hey, Sasha Dunable. Turns out that was way back in 2018. I thought it was during COVID, so I had been listening for a good long while. The interview with Hello Sailor this past week.
Hello, Sailor.
Great. Hey, Joe. You guys have been a great... you guys have a great rapport, and it was like hanging out with old friends. That may be why I finally decided to chip in. By the way, if any of you feel the need to check out any of Ed's musical endeavors, they are on all of the places. He says Bandcamp is the best. Mm-hmm. One is called Miss Ohio.
Oh.
MISS Ohio. The 65s and Voice of Doom. And it's all New Jersey based. How about that?
Love it.
So we'll have to check those out. Thank you so much, Ed, for that great message. I feel like we all just got to know you a little bit right there, and that's, we really love that. So thank you.
That's what it's all about.
And thank you for supporting us at this point in time.
So,
any point in time.
Todd.
Yes. Big announcement, Tony.
I have an announcement, and I believe it to be, based on things that I've been able to dig up.
Uh-huh.
I believe it to be
buckle up,
100% true. I'd heard some rumblings over the last month and a half.
Pepperidge Farm is going down.
The frozen cakes are going to be deleted from the line. No, far worse than that.
Oh.
G&L is out of business.
Well, yeah.
And it's confirmed.
Okay, so you were just thinking that was a rumor before.
I thought it was just a rumor. They had, back in September...
All of these rumors, can't take it no more.
So mid-September, they had basically laid off all the workers, right? And they said, well, you come back in 2 weeks. Well,
who does that?
Apparently G&L. Except
wow.
They had them come back, and they said, we're closing down. So interestingly,
that's terrible.
Well, yeah, and officially, the factory in Fullerton is completely empty. So if anybody's out there and wants to do some fun dumpster diving,
oh man,
there's going to be some stuff
for sure.
If there's not already stuff,
but we wouldn't recommend doing anything illegal. So.
Not illegal, but if it's in a dumpster,
yeah,
it's you
just can't go on premises.
No, don't go inside the building.
Well, I'm just making sure.
Okay, yeah, we're not encouraging
I
that.
don't want to be liable for anything.
That's right. Todd said I could do it. So anyhow, officially, BBE, who owned G&L, declared insolvency.
Yes.
And apparently, and this is kind of an interesting twist because it's going to make for some interesting reissues. Fender has bought the intellectual data, what it was called, intellectual rights,
which
from
was
G&L.
pretty much theirs already.
It was not.
It was not.
So they could never, Fender, and it's up until recently,
yes,
they just filed for the trademarks to be able to use Leo Fender in his name and his likeness and image. They were not able to do that.
What?
Leo took it with him when he went to G&L.
Crazy.
Yes.
Alex, are you aware of all this?
Most of it, yeah.
So it is interesting, and what it's going to, it's going to be if Fender decides to keep the brand alive, which I doubt, they will, they'll be the pre-Fender G&Ls that are going to be worth more money than the post-Fender G&Ls.
Wow, that's
think
weird.
about the pre-CBS and the all that fun stuff.
If they do that, though, they'll do some sort of like modernized version of the kernel, but just Leo's picture up on top, and it'll just say LFG instead of KFC.
Yeah, that was a good one, Todd.
Thanks.
Anyhow, so it's unclear where the brand is going. We know that Fender is probably planning on using Leo's image and likeness and name for their. I mean, they already use his name, I guess, technically. But maybe they'll have a AI Leo Fender saying, "These are the best guitars I ever made. They're made right now."
As I understand, they play well.
I can't hear them very well, but they're not bright enough.
Wow.
So and then the other part of it is the tribute line.
Yes.
Which are the import versions of G&Ls.
Right.
Whether they'll keep that alive and make that in like an addition to like the Squire line or different things like that.
How many options do we need for this?
Well, that's the thing.
Alex, that's what you're thinking too, right?
Been thinking of it the whole time.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Well, I've had many Fenders. I've had many G&Ls over the years, and I've always liked the G&Ls. I've had ASATs. I've had one of my favorite was a Comanche that had the Z-coil pickups, basically a Strat. And I think I've always liked the G&Ls better.
Really?
Yeah. Other than Telecasters.
Why? I'm not saying why, like, how could you, or what a big dummy.
Why?
I'm curious.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it was because I wanted something a little bit different than what Fender was offering.
Right.
And in truth be told, with exception of like the Legacy and the S500, those are basically just Strats with a different trem system. But like the Comanche was different because the Z-coil pickups were basically like electric 12 pickups.
Uh-huh.
And then the ASATs, the original ASATs, had those basically P90 style, what do they call them, MFD pickups. And they sound different. And to me, they were a better option. So
well, you just made a good case for that.
So look for all those pre-Fender G&Ls coming to a store near you.
Wow. All right, Alex. We're going to get into what's going on in our music world this week. I think we're just going to mix this up for a second because Tony's been blowing a lot of hot air right now. Can you kick us off with what's going on in our music world this week? Don't get your cold to me, you goofball.
I don't
blowing all over me.
Hey, by the way,
yes,
in my brief but accurate research, I was able to find that we were
really close there, weren't we, Alex?
So close.
This is Alex's 5th appearance.
It is.
His first appearance was episode number 78 back in February of 2018.
Wow.
Followed by episode 190 in October of 2020, the year that didn't exist for some reason.
Yeah.
Followed by episode 301 in January of 23. And then his last appearance was episode 325, which was our breadboarding 101.
Yeah, that was fun.
In July of also 2023.
Yes.
So now this is his 5th appearance. What episode is this? 430?
443,
Oh, we're in the
I
40s.
think.
Holy cow.
Hang on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, we're cooking with gas, baby.
Nice. So anyhow, I didn't mean to interrupt, Alex.
Actually, pretty much, that's exactly what you did.
Okay, that's exactly what I did.
This is, well, yes, this
Why
will
can't
be
I see
episode
this
number
up here?
443. Anyways, go ahead and kick us off. What is going on in your music world this week, Alex?
So my main thing that's been going on here, like in my music adjacent world, is in the pedal shop, not obviously building of the pedals for my, like what's been going on, but it's everything kind of around pedals because we moved into a new shop. And we started moving in there in like February or March of this year.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of what I've been doing is building custom benches from scratch with my father for the shop, and kind of doing a lot of like infrastructure that I really enjoy. It's kind of like a therapeutic thing. Plus, woodworking is like one of the original hobbies I had. So It's been kind of fun to get back to the roots of building. Plus, getting to do like custom benches is really, really cool in like a brand new shop. Because we're not in like a garage or a basement anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been kind of like the big thing
Moving
over
on
here.
up to the east side.
So are these are you using stand-up benches or sit-down benches?
So a while back, when we built the original benches in the garage that we were in, we did a lot of like measurements and research for a good bench height that's good for standing, but also good for sitting when you're in like a drafting style chair. Something that has a piston that can go up high enough.
Yeah.
Like an art drafter's chair. So we built them like to the exact height that would be really comfortable to stand, but also can work with our drafting style chairs that we had. So they're kind of both. It's modeled after the old workbench my dad had where he would like do all of his woodworking. So we kind of just copied that height. And then when we moved over to this new shop, we kind of kept that there because it felt right. It's weird how like a couple inches difference has such a different like feel for the person. So that's been kind of like what we've been aiming for. Because I like to do a little bit of both between like sitting when I'm working at the computer, but also standing a lot of times if I'm doing like prep stuff and whatnot. So that's been kind of cool, get to make custom benches, storage underneath, all the lighting above it and everything. So that's been kind of in my world since March, so to speak. So it takes a while to build all of them because we got to get all the wood, we got to work it, we got to plane it, we got to do all of that stuff to it. But it's been really cool. It's been it's making for a nice shop that we've kind of been dreaming of for about a decade.
Nice. Are you using like any special wood, or are you using 2x4s or?
So we get, so this is the fun thing, like near us here where we are, there's this place that my dad goes with his trailer on his truck, and he can get 16-foot long pallets that are made out of this type of pine, radiate pine. So as long as you can deal with working it to get out the nails and type of stuff out, we can get like 16-foot boards that are clean. And so far in this shop, we haven't spent a penny on wood.
Wow.
That's incredible.
And you're reusing stuff too. That's the big plus.
Exactly. So as long as we take the time to go through looking for like warping, bowing, that type of stuff. It's not very naughty. We got to, you got to do a little bit more legwork, but we never have to go to like the lumber yard. We just have to get the screws, and then we just have, the compound miters. We got all the saws and stuff for it, routers. You just have to like work it appropriately. Then we stain it and seal it in. And, it's been nice to not have to spend anything on lumber. And a lot of times it's like cleaner than stuff you would get at the lumberyard, because you're gonna have to go to the lumberyard and like look through anyway for bowing and all of that type of stuff. So it's been kind of cool to just like have it delivered from down the street and then like, you know, just work it off the pallet and be able to kind of, like you said, Tony, kind of give the wood like a new life.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice. So it's been really cool. It's 5/4 wood, so it's really thick. Yeah, so all of these benches are very like, you know, you could work like a car engine on them.
I was going to say, if it's 5/4, wow, that's heavy duty.
Yep. So they're very like overbuilt. They're very, but they're still kind of furniture pieces, but also kind of industrious. You know, anybody that likes that type of stuff can see a lot of it in our videos that we're starting to do now that we're in a workspace. I just did some like history videos of Foxcatcher and some other stuff. So you'll be able to see some of that. And if you're a woodworking fanatic like myself.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
Super cool. Tony?
Yes?
About yourself.
Well, this actually goes back beyond a week, but I gave you a heads up on it while you were out of town. If anyone is even remotely interested in the band Devo, they need to see the Devo documentary that is currently on Netflix. It came out last year, and it is probably one of the best, well, certainly one of the few Devo documentaries that are out there. There's some other partial mentions and different things like that, but I watched this, and this is a band from Akron, Ohio, just up the road here a little ways from us. And I learned a ton of stuff that I had absolutely no idea. And it's very well done. Primarily, you know, it's Mark Mothersbaugh and Jerry Cassell doing most of the, you know, the interview stuff. And they have some old interview footage from some of the other members. There are a couple of members that have actually passed away, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But it's just really well done, and there's some really crazy things. My favorite part of it, and this is kind of a spoiler, but Mark Mothersbaugh is talking about they were doing Uncontrollable Urge in New York City. Mm-hmm. It's a yeah. And he says they did it. It might have been at Max's, Kansas City, and John Lennon was there that night. And John Lennon comes up to Mark Mothersbaugh and goes, yeah. He says, John Lennon got the song because it was basically "She Loves You, yeah," except the 1970s, you know, mid-70s version. I mean, and that just blew me away. I mean, I can't even imagine having John Lennon yell that back up in your face.
Right?
Very cool stuff. But you got to watch it. Just
well, see, that was the kind of tidbit we need because your story was really not getting there. But now
I'll leave now.
No, that sounds awesome. I like that's great.
Todd, what about you?
Well, previously I had mentioned that I was going to start considering maybe trying to find an attenuating solution type thing.
Yes.
And I have abandoned that idea.
Okay. Instead, I'm just going to pull one of the tubes out of the
thing. I watched just about every video I could, which there are not many.
Huh.
Which was actually really kind of surprising. But that also made me think, why aren't there many? And then I made the call to the man, the insider, Rob Chafe. And he says, well, and I was like, okay, here we go.
Whenever Rob starts the sentence with "well," you know you're in for it.
And he said, look, you know, they serve a purpose, but I don't think they're going to serve your purpose.
Yeah.
And he said, he's got a Weber over there, and he said, you can borrow it. I had a few other people say, hey, I'll send you mine, blah, 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 and which was super kind. And I really, truly appreciated that. The more I thought about it, the more I looked into it, I'm like, this is just not really going to do the thing that I was hoping it would do, needed to do. I'll figure out another way to do this. And I'm just turning it down more.
Yeah. I mean, my experience is don't expect to be able to cut your volume in half.
Right.
If you want to take a little bit off, yes.
And that's what he was telling me. He says you would shave off the equivalent, I think, of like 6 dB or something.
Yeah.
Which is not going to be a giant difference in perception if it's already loud.
Yeah. I wonder if one of those plexi screens might be.
He talked about that a little bit because that's what he's using live.
Mm-hmm.
I did kind of do a few things, and it's working out. And when I'm playing with the full band, I'm wearing ear protection anyways because I'm right in front of drums and everything. So it's all working out, and la la la. So there we go.
Okay. So
crisis averted.
Attenuate no more.
I shall not attenuate. Yes. It's loud as hell, and I'm not going to attenuate anymore. Anyways, okay. We're going to talk right now about, we're going to slide right into something that feels very natural.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Tony.
Yes.
Guess what?
What, Todd?
Tour Gear Designs patch cables. That's what.
I love them.
You need some for your board, peoples.
Everyone needs them.
In fact, my bass player, this is true story, bass player set up, and he was like, all this stuff, and there's a bad connection. And he's pulling stuff apart, and I just walked over with my box of patch cables, Tour Gear patch cables, and I'm like, fix it.
Here, use these.
Boom, did it. It was like clickety boom. It worked out. So there you go. They work, right? That's what I'm saying.
They work.
Go to tourgeardesigns.com and get yourself some of these super awesome patch cables.
Load up the cart.
And you're not going to bust your wallet in half.
Not in half. No.
By any stretch.
No.
It will shock and amaze you, the variety that you will gain.
Shock in a emotional way, not electrical way.
Load up your cart, hit purchase, then you're going to get the code.
A box for the
code in which you put what, Tony?
The guitar knobs, all lowercase, all one word.
And you save how much, Tony?
You'll save 15%.
Thank you, Tony.
15.
Thank you to Tour Gear for sponsoring our 4 on the Floor.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3.
4 on the floor.
All right, Alex Guaraldi from Coppersound Pedals. What is your 4 on the floor? +1 because this is your 5th one.
All right. I'm surprised that Tony doesn't have some type of like 5 on a dive or something like that, you know?
Yeah. He's the brawn. I'm the brains.
Todd. Oh, Todd.
Okay, hit us.
All right, so I would say for my number 1, I was trying to think before the episode too of like just it's the core, because last time I did like for a project, so I did specifically like for an ensemble I was working on or whatever, and I think I'm going to go back to kind of like what I've been doing as of like a few years ago when we did this. So for my first one, I'm going to have to stick with my trusty gain pedal. Like if I could only have one gain pedal, it's going to be the Super Bolt from JHS. So that's my go-to. Like if I can only pick one pedal, it's usually a toss-up between a Blues Breaker style thing or the JHS Super Bolt, just because I've got an actual like vintage Supro amp and I'm kind of a fanatic for that stuff. But I like the tones I'm getting from the JHS Super Bolt. I have one of the very first ones, serial number like 833 or something like that. Usually I don't know the serial numbers, but that's how much I know this one. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. It's kind of like knowing your debit card number by heart. You're like, oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know? But it's just been the sound that I like, because I don't like high gain or even like distortion sounds. I tend to like more low gain and like maybe medium amount of overdrive. I think I'm kind of in the world like Tony is. But if I'm going to get like on the heavier side of stuff, I want it to have that like Supro sag with the really dynamic cleanup with like pick attack, not volume like fuzz does, but pick attack with just hand dynamics. So
Yes.
that's like my go-to is like a Super sound. So I'd go with the JHS Super Bowl for my first slot.
Okay.
For my second one, I got to have some type of boost pedal to just get louder. And usually I'd go with our Gravity Bomb for like just like the straightforward, clean, no coloration or anything, just more you in your amp. But I have this really cool pedal. I don't know if he's doing it anymore. Mad Mojo. It's a builder. I want to say he's in the Rockies, and he has this pedal called the Flint Hill. It's a really cool pedal. It's very like streamlined. It's a 2-knob, 1 toggle thing. If you guys want to look it up, it's called the Flint Hill, one word. That's his like JFET like discrete preamp type of thing. Which I really like. There is a certain like color to it, which is fine with me. Like I pretty much like any boost pedals, but I kind of like this one. I did a trade with him. I want to say I traded him like some custom enclosure work. Like he liked some of our like enclosure work we were doing back in the day, like hand paint stuff and whatnot. And I traded him for this, and I really like it. It's like a no nonsense, like level gain, and then like you can choose some brightness. And I'm just a sucker for like, I like small amps. So I like pushing the amp as well with like boost pedals. So I would take that for my like get louder thing, and just to get some love for another builder on there.
Love it.
All right. So my number 4.
3.
3. Okay. I can't count for crap, huh?
That's usually my job.
All right, band, come on in. 1, 2, 4. Okay. Number 3. It's probably been on another episode of mine, is the classic big box small clone. So for like modulation, I'm a chorus guy all day. That's my number 1 in the place of modulation. The small clone was like the first chorus pedal I ever got, and it's the only one I think that I've purchased since. Obviously, we make a chorus pedal, and it's purple, and you can probably guess the homage to it.
Grimace.
But that was, yeah. Todd, did you get the Grimace shake when it came out? I mean, how many Grimace shakes did you get when it came out?
I mean,
More than one.
more than one.
Okay, that's fair. But I've just liked it's that classic Nirvana "Come As You Are." Like that's the sound of the small clone. Like I feel like that's the one that put it on the map.
Yeah.
But I liked the simplicity, just speed, and then you have like a secondary access control, which essentially gives you more.
Why did they call it the small clone? Do you know?
I'm assuming clone means because it kind of sounds like there's 2 of you when it comes to a chorusing effect.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the small clone,
Well, there was the small stone.
right?
did have
And I
small
didn't understand
stone,
that
yeah.
one either.
That one makes less sense. So I don't know what the stone part is.
So you're only slightly stoned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The Electric Mistress makes a whole lot of sense.
Oh yeah, okay, I can give you that.
You know, for a size comparison, as most people know, like back in the day, EHX had even larger pedals than they do now. So relatively speaking, it was smaller.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe they had it more. This was the more compact.
This is the more compact one.
Slightly more compact.
Yeah.
See, it was so easy. It was right in front of us, and we missed it.
But that's my go-to is chorus.
Cool.
You know, so I small clone is my classic. My number 4 has definitely been on this.
Sorry. Can you go back to chorus?
Go ahead.
I'm just curious. Is Nirvana your mark for awesome chorusness?
Well, I think they definitely made that pedal famous. Like when I think of explaining to somebody the sound of the small clone, I think of some stuff off of Nevermind. That's a good question. Like when I think of chorus, what do I think of?
Yeah.
That's really good. There's obviously like some 80s stuff that does a lot of good modulation out there, like with chorus and flanging. I feel like Johnny Marr did some chorus stuff as well that I really liked. Obviously, I think of tremolo for him because of How Soon Is Now. But That's a really good question. I'll have to think more on that. Of like when I think chorus, who do I think of?
Yeah.
It's
I think Dave Navarro. That's that's screams
Okay.
at me. I mean, he's like pretty heavy delay and all that stuff, but just the sort of layery thickness of his stuff. That's what I always think when someone says chorus. That's the first person that comes to my mind. Tony, what about yourself?
What was that?
Chorus
Chorus.
player, go.
Chorus player.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Andy Summers, please.
Oh yeah, good
Yeah,
one.
that's a good one. That's
Yep.
a really good one.
Yep.
I don't really listen to the Police, but I know that that's something that he's known for. Also, I thought he did flanger as well. But either way,
Yes.
that's another good one.
Indeed. Okay, what do you have for number 4?
Number 4. You sure it's number 4 now?
I'm positive.
Okay. Number 4. So just like how I'm always going to grab the Super Bolt for my drive, for the end of my chain, always grabbing the Strymon Flint. It's my goat pedal. It's like the only reverb pedal that I need. I like the tremolo on it as well. But it was the first Strymon I think I ever bought, and I never sold it and had to buy it again. It's just kind of like it's my go-to reverb. Like even if I've got reverb on the amp, I'll then like to use it as like a secondary thing. My go-to uses are the 80s setting on the reverb with the color like almost completely dark. Because it's not like dark like muddy. It's just like it stays out of your way, and I leave the length of it really long, and it kind of acts like a pad, like a reverb pad. It just kind of sits under your mix really nicely. It's one of those ones where it's like if I just turn on that, you kind of like will get lost for a while.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing in a pedal, especially if you're trying stuff out and you're kind of like, huh, where was I for a little bit?
Yeah. I
You
love
kind of
that.
like
Isn't that the
hear it.
best feeling?
Yeah, it's good when you like it feels like you hear the song in your head behind everything.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my go-to is the Strymon Flint. I've got
That's probably the most referenced pedal that we've had on all the foreign floors for almost 10 years.
there's a reason for that too. It's just become like it's a contemporary classic
Yes.
for a good reason too.
Isn't it weird? It is kind of already a classic.
Yeah, at least a contemporary classic.
Yes. Like
Um,
you said, coin, circle R.
mhm.
I like that. Okay. And you know what? This is very superficial of me, but I actually really love the black and cream of the pedal. I love the aesthetic of this pedal.
Yeah,
It's so simple, but the black and cream, yep, all day.
yeah, it's a good. Strymon's very left brain about their branding and stuff, and I think they kind of have to be because it's such a smart pedal that if you then make it confusing from like a UI standpoint, people could be easily turned off, and I totally
yeah.
get that because there's a lot on that pedal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's smart of them
But
to
not too much.
Yeah, no, they don't even tell you what the secondary things are because they kind of just want you to be like, here's the main things. If you want additional diving, that means you're that type of person and you'll go look for it.
Yeah.
But this is going to sound good kind of in any position.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll just be able to get the sounds you want. If you want to do stereo, you can do that. If you want to do secondary, you can do that. If you want to do expression, you can do that. But just out of the gate, it's got the core functionality not kind of really nailed.
I agree. For number 5, your bonus for having made it here 5 times.
5 times.
What is your 5th on the floor?
All right. Well, while I'm thinking about it, Tony, you're going to have to figure out if I'm in like the top 10 of repeat people.
You're up there. You're up there. I don't know if it could be top 10.
Okay.
Oh, it's definitely, it's top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I just didn't know how thirsty I was.
Yeah, you might be 11. You might be 11.
All right, my bonus, number 5 on the floor. It has such a nice ring to it, doesn't it? 5 on the floor.
Kind of.
5 speed.
Yes.
Overdrive.
My number 5 is like been my somewhat recent obsession. It is the EHX Mel 9.
Oh,
This is you're with our buddy Jared.
yeah.
I love the Mel. I think I remember that on an episode, but I love the Mel 9, specifically the 4th position, I believe is the flute sound. And that's the one that I could just leave it on. I usually use it with my slow gear clone that I built a long time ago. So it kind of has obviously that like slow attack sound to get a bit like that like cello type response. Then I use it with the Mel 9 settings, and it's great for like creating bass tracks with a looper or some type of like fundamental start or bass line of something. And just dialing in like the wet dry knobs, which are really nice, dialing those in the right amount for like it's, you know, transparent, still hearing the note attack, hearing the cool effect that's going on. And then you can, I believe it's like attack and release or sensitivity. There's 2 other controls for the actual effect themselves. And then you get the 9-way rotary. But I had never, it was in the shop once, and then a buddy of mine lent it to me for years on end. And because I think I had given him something. We were just kind of playing tradesies, and I had it on my, it like never left my board. It was always just really fun to have as like a cool effect that wasn't delay or modulation or any time-based thing like that. And it was just kind of a different sound. And like I said, if you blend in like the wet dry right, it kind of unlocks almost the, not ethereal, but somewhat of like the thematic like nature of like my brain, you know, like almost like big band stuff or stuff, because it's obviously got those sounds, and a lot of those, that 9 series had that aspect of like, you know, organs, Hammond type stuff, Rhodes, all that. It like made me like think a little different, which I think is also another good thing that a pedal can do.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I think might sound actually really great. Now, I don't have one of these, but maybe you can try this by proxy for me, which is running that into a fuzz. Because usually you put that kind of stuff after all your drive. But one of the things that I love about a proper fuzz like solo sound is when you get the woo, you know, like the that sort of like awesome nasal, not bad nasal sound, especially on a solo. Like if you flipped a neck position and hit the fuzz, and you know you're gonna get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's.
But I wonder if you were on like flute or something like that into a fuzz, would that in fact kind of sound like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's an interesting idea, especially with like breaking pedal order. Norms.
Yeah,
no, that's cool.
Yes.
So that's
everybody go out there and do that now.
That's
Tell
my
me how
5
great
on
it sounds. Well, that was a very handsome 5 on the floor there, Mr. Man. Thank you. Now, we have a lovely pedal. I will say a lovely little pedal. A littler pedal in front of us.
It's a small pedal.
It's junior.
Well, not really small.
Well, it's a normal size. It's just a little. It's
small by EHX standards.
It's the compact version of something. So, Alex, we're not going to get in your way. Why don't you tell what everybody about this pedal that's in front of us here?
Yeah. So I had sent this to you guys a little while back.
Yep.
In preparation for this. This has been like a 2 to 3 years coming, I believe, and we wanted to work on a new form factor for our pedal line, and we thought towards the end of this thing's creation that, well, maybe the first thing out of the gate for this brand new line or series of pedals would be to address some of the things that we had from our one of our best sellers, the Foxcatcher. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to essentially make a version 2 of it. We thought it was time for that. And the end result is just that. It's a new enclosure size, a pretty unique layout, I would say, for the enclosure. For those that are like listening only and haven't seen it yet, Foxcatcher is kind of entering that world of the 125B, like your your Earthquaker, JHS Wampler type size, the slightly larger than the MXR, but smaller than the doubles.
Kind of, standard. Oh, no, you're talking. Okay, keep going. I interrupted.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's pretty standard. Like I said, bigger than MXR, but smaller than like your double size pedals. So we kind of wanted to work in that form factor because a lot of people really like it. So like I was saying, for the audio listeners, we've got a huge 30 millimeter metal knob and then a couple small 15s, but it's in a triangular shape. But I came up with this layout, which is like it flips the classic Tube Screamer triangle upside down 180. So it's got the big knob up top and then 2 smaller knobs. And when we were working on this layout, I wanted to put toggle switches on it. So I hid the toggle switches to the left and right of the big 30 millimeter knob. And the toggle switch bats are lower profile than the knobs, so you can't step on it with your foot accidentally, which I kind of enjoyed. It kind of naturally makes a cage, kind of like sometimes you'll see people put like almost like cabinet handles on pedals to like avoid, stuff that like Mantic does, like with the Flex and things like that. So yeah, we had worked on this layout since I think it was 2022. And Jordan and I dialed in like the drill holes, all that type of stuff. And we were working on a ton of different pedals. Like there's so many in the back catalog right now that we want to put out in this form factor. But we had been wanting to do Foxcatcher because we had a lot of, we had some big name people play it. We had a lot of, gigging musicians, people at home, like really enjoying Foxcatcher. So like if people don't know us for like the Jack White thing or the Telegraph, they probably know us from Foxcatcher, which is honestly really cool, especially from a world that's so oversaturated with overdrive that people kind of knew this pedal, which I think is, just, so humbling and honoring. But we had a couple like big feedbacks that were, that came along with the pedal. One of them was that a lot of people did want to see the overdrive side of Foxcatcher as a standalone. For anybody that doesn't know, the original one is like a 2-in-1, overdrive and boost. So we wanted to kind of address that, and we thought, okay, well, we're doing a solo series instead of our duet series, which is the 2-foot switch. We're doing the solo series, which has the single foot switch on it, and we're like, okay, well, we can do one like that. The other thing that people really wanted was more gain on tap for Foxcatcher, which is, a blues breaker, which is inherently a lower gain pedal. So we already had 2 of those boxes checked of like, okay, well, we've got a cool form factor and let's address some of the other stuff. So when we were starting like the breadboarding and like the design of this, I got the core things, and the mission was to keep the essence and everything of the original Foxcatcher so you could still get that like classic V1 sound, but we wanted to expand it to have more control without losing what the thing is. So it's not like V2 is nothing like V1 or it's a reimagination. It's more of like an extension of the first version.
It's an extensionation.
Exactly. That's the word that we came up here, and we trademarked that, so there will be some litigation.
It's an extensionation that's sweeping the nation.
Yes.
So obviously we wanted to address the things. We had the form factor, and we wanted to do the gain thing. Now, a lot of people will do extra gain staging, which is fine. A lot of people will like hit their pedals with like boost before it to get gainier, and that's fine as well. To my ear, a lot of times if you give too much at the front end, it almost sounds like an 80s or 90s digital distortion pedal. It doesn't, I don't know, there's something about it to my ear that I never really liked. So I didn't want to just put like a gain stage before the blues breaker stage, or like some type of like pushing at the front end. So when I was working on the V2, I found a way to augment the second stage where the clipping is done, and increase that section's volume. So it kind of works in tandem with the drive knob. So anybody listening, we've got the classic controls for volume, tone, and drive, but then the extension is in the toggle switch, as I had mentioned prior.
Yeah.
We've got a 3-position toggle for gain. So you've got like your classic low, you've got your medium, and then you've got your like higher gain on one toggle switch. The other toggle switch we called shape, and that actually handles the low end content. So that's a low pass filter, whereas actually, I'm sorry. That's so that's going to be adjusting essentially the low end contour of everything. So sorry, it's a high pass filter. Because
I always get those confused.
No, it's a little brain fart here. But the reason we did that was because original Foxcatcher had a tone knob, which is a low pass filter, and then it has the nature control, which is an additional low pass filter, but it's on like the higher register. So it's kind of like a presence knob or an anti-presence knob, if you will. So they're both handling rolling off the high end, but the guitar lives in like the mids and highs. So we were like, well, why don't we just make the tone knob extension extend it to kind of cover both those frequencies. And then for the toggle switch, we'll be able to cut lows, because you could never cut any lows of the original one. So that's what the shape knob does, or I'm sorry, the shape toggle. You can kind of either like boost, flat, or cut the low end, which is really nice. You can get some of that out of your way depending on your amp.
And that's really useful depending on what type of guitar you're using too. Whether, if you're using single coils, you need a bass boost. If you're using, humbuckers or that sort of thing, or you want to cut some of that bass out of there.
Cut that bass out.
Cut it out,
man.
Yeah, so you can use that high pass filter and get some of your lows out of there. But going back to how we did the extra gain, instead of it being at the front end and hitting it harder, I did it in the second stage, which, like I said, works in tandem with the drive knob pushing that second stage. But then there's that toggle switch that engages a different circuit there, or manipulates the circuit so that you can actually have higher gain in the second stage, which in doing so actually brings up your compression amount. So your sustains are going to be longer, because you're not hitting it with more drive at the beginning. You're actually extending the drive floor at the later stages of this. So it's kind of cool that it kind of acts. Obviously, drive has compression itself, right? But this kind of acts as like an extension to that, where for single note stuff or just like pick attack stuff, when you're in the higher gain, you'll actually also be achieving a bit more compression too, which is, desirable for a lot of people. Plus, I thought it was a more unique way to have a blues breaker circuit that has more gain in it without adding a whole nother circuit or, changing the feel of the V1. Because that was the core thing that I had mentioned, is not, erasing what the V1 did. I think you should still be able to put it into a quote V1 mode. And there's a video on our site now. You can check out me doing that along with a ton of other technical things throughout this. But
Excellent.
We wanted to have like I said, do an extension and make the V2 do the old thing and do the new thing, and not be like, oh yeah, the V1 was this, but the V2 is a completely different beast. We didn't want that. We just wanted to, really zhuzh it up, if you will.
Yeah. You wanted to append the pedal. For
Exactly. Yeah. I had a lot of pencils, so I wanted to pen it.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
I think you just
You're
robbed
going
the
for the
stinker award from me.
Yeah, the Todd award is going to Alex today.
Yes.
Well, some other cool things, and you may not notice unless you crack it open or read the owner's manual.
Yeah.
Is you have a couple of interesting switches inside as well. And first of all, you can run this either at 9 or 18 volts.
Now, before you go any further, Alex, tell our audience why that is an advantage, why you would want to run 9 or 18.
Sure. I've talked about this a lot, and I even I write for Premier Guitar, and I even did a whole article on this. But essentially, higher voltage usually like increased headroom. Kind of think about that voltage is going to equate to, not breaking up as easily, which a lot of times will be desirable for people because you'll have usually better note clarity to it. I think a good analogy might be, let's say you had like a 1 watt amp and, you're playing really hard into it, and your buddy has a 50 watt amp and you're playing really hard. Your 1 watt amp is probably going to break up and the 50 is not, because it's got higher headroom. It can just handle more of that load. So the 9 to 18 is nice for a couple reasons. The first one is just generally you get a bit more clarity because you now have an 18 volt swing between the rails on your IC. So instead of it being 9 to 0, you're now working from 0 to 18. So you're doubling that, and you're usually going to get more headroom clarity, that type of stuff. The other thing, and I covered this in my article, and this is not a pitch to go.
When was that out, by the way?
It was like 100 years ago, I think. No, I'd have to look it up, but it was probably a couple years ago. I think it was called the 18-volt philosophy, and I'm sure you can Google that. Yeah. On Premier Guitar, use my name or just that type of thing. It's for State of the Stomp. But anyway, the other philosophical point that I kind of tried to touch on in my article was, with power supplies in the modern era, a lot of power supplies will give isolated 18 volt only locations for pedals that require 18 or can take it and you want to try it. And the philosophy that I live by is, if you could demonstrate that absolutely nothing would change sonically in your pedal going to 18, but it can safely do it, might as well just do it, because that could be the thing that's like, oh, I've got this power supply I love, but it's got this dedicated 18 I can't do anything with because all my pedals are 9. Almost every drive pedal can do 18 volts, minus stuff that has charge pumps that can't do specific input voltages or, super tech nerdy stuff. Most things can handle 18 volts because most of the components related around it are rated for around 25 or more. So I'm in the philosophy camp of just say 9 to 18. Like, most of our pedals have 9 to 18 on it because the components can handle it, and it might sound a little bit cleaner. And if it sounds a little different to you, that's fine. You got 2 options now. Like, oh, well, I like it more 9 or 18. You can even do 12 and 15. So philosophically, I thought it made sense. Plus, if you give the player a little bit of a sonic diversity there, they can choose for themselves. But the short answer is, you're going to get some more headroom and usually some better note definition.
That was an excellent overview. Thank you.
It was a little wordy.
No, that was right on the money.
We'll take it.
So continue, Tony.
Yes. So inside
the switches.
Tell
inside.
The switches. I'm going to, Todd, can I talk? Please. Thank you.
Tony, don't listen to him, but if you could, I would like you to, talk about the switches inside.
Thank you, Alex. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'd like to talk about. The switches inside. There's 2 different switches, which are kind of fun. First of all, one controls the momentary switch. We'll talk about that a little bit for the smart bypass. And the other one is the startup switch. So you can choose whether the Foxcatcher will be powered up on startup. And
so you don't have to click it on.
So you don't have to click it on. It comes on automatically. Is that correct? Am I correct in that assumption?
You are correct. I love that you also read the manual, because I feel like for a lot of our stuff you don't have to, but I know that you're the book guy, Tony, and you like to kind of
yeah.
And we gave you a little 2-page book with this.
I love 2-page books. I can say that. Look how many books I've read this week.
Yes.
I can usually read our manual in under an hour, both pages.
Wow. But I wanted to talk more about this the smart bypass switch. Why don't we talk about that and explain what that does or doesn't do?
Sure, yeah. You kind of touch base on it, and I'll extrapolate on that, if you will. So, like Tony mentioned, we got smart bypass in this, which is a new feature that's only been seen so far in our pickguard stuff, which is our strategy and Broadway preamps. So this is going to be the first pedal, like Telegraph does a smart version, but this is our first standalone pedal that's going to have all of these features. So as Tony mentioned, this pedal has a couple dip switches on the inside. It comes factory set to momentary on and startup is off. So the momentary switch allows you to access momentary operation. So if you click on your pedal once like normal, you get it on. You click on it again, you get it off, just like a traditional latching switch that we've known for 40 plus years. If you press the foot switch and hold it down, you're going to only have the pedal on while you have the button pressed, and then as soon as you release it, it's going to go back to its bypass state. So you can momentarily inject some sound into whatever you're doing. Mm-hmm. And all of our pedals are going to be featuring that going forward, minus our minis. So it's kind of a fun way to think about something of I can just step on this for a bar and then let go, or I can step on it for 3 seconds and let go. And that aspect kind of makes it interactive, which is fun for the player. So if you like that idea, leave it factory set. If you're the type of person that maybe you're singing and playing at the same time, and you might do that thing where you step on your pedal until the fourth chord and let go, because maybe you've got a timing thing, or you're tap dancing. You got to also engage with the crowd. You got to do your thing. You're up there working it, essentially. You can shut that off, so it's just like a standard latching switch like you'd see on almost anybody's pedal. So you can be like, you know what, the momentary isn't for me, and honestly, it screws me up a little bit because I like the traditional thing. We wanted people to be able to choose not having the momentary, so you can shut that off. So that's essentially what the momentary feature is for smart bypass. Get a latching on off or a momentary press. And we thought that was kind of a fun option for people. When we were working on the coding side of things for it, because the switching is done with digital, but the whole pedal is analog, we also wanted to do a feature for the startup, which kind of happened towards the very end of the coding process, because I think there was somebody in the shop talking about their true bypass looper rig, or anybody that does a looping station rig.
Yes, that's why.
Yeah, so especially if you've got a looper rig, and let's say you keep your pedal maybe housed under a bridge or something like that, where you never have to really access it because you're doing all your command station stuff up front. If you have it set to startup in the on position, like I believe most Boss pedals do, when you unplug your rig at the end of the night and plug it back in or whatever it might be, when you're power cycling it, when you plug that pedal back in, whether it's in a looper or not, it's going to fire up in the on position. And again, all you have to do is shut it off if you didn't want that, But it's very ideal for that type of player of I'm using a looping setup for a smart bypass looper, or a gig rig, or ES5, ES8, that type of thing, where it's this is my hub. All the other guys, you just got to turn on. So instead of turning every single one on, you can just flip that startup switch to the on position. Again, it factory comes in the off because it's a very standard pedal. We wanted to still kind of have that feel of what the modern era pedals are.
That's really smart, man.
Well, we call it smart bypass for a reason.
Yes, circle R.
So there's also one other feature that smart bypass does as well. Tony may have saw it in the manual, but the way that we have the coding done and the relay that we use to do the switching electrically, if Foxcatcher were to like lose power or you unplug the barrel or whatever it might be, it reverts to its bypass state and allows audio to go through. So it won't get latched up. So if you were lose power to it, it's not going to be stuck in the on position with no LED and you won't know where it is. It'll default and bypass your audio.
That's smart.
Yeah, so we wanted to also have that allowed. So like you could literally be playing it and Tony could pull the plug and you wouldn't miss a beat because it would just shut to the off position and just bypass for you until the end of the gig and you can figure something out, you know?
I like it.
Yeah.
Good thinking, man.
There's lots of thinking in this pedal.
Yeah, we
tell
wanted to. I know that the selling point of this is not like the power supply jack or the foot switch, but
no, but honestly, that's the kind of stuff, you know, especially if you're looking at this as it really, to me, feels like a utility pedal. There's some overdrives with the amount of customization or, you know, all the different ways that you can control the tone, the drive, etc. They kind of fall into a utility drive category, and obviously you have a utility knife in there as well. But I think that you really did capitalize on that this time.
Yeah, we really wanted to, like I said, extend what the original one did, and then also it be feature laden too with just the foot switch alone, because it's a nice like under the hood selling point. And we're really happy with like how this pedal turned out, because we've never had like this pedal. The V1 stayed around for 9 years. Like this month, it hits 9 years from the V1. And for anybody listening that is also kind of like likes this like history and origin stories and stuff, if you go to our site, we actually did a full rundown of the entire lineage of Foxcatcher, all the way from like the conception and breadboard, all the way through the V1, the different paint jobs, the origins of the finishes, the Fusion series we did, all the way through to the V2. So if you're the type of person that likes to see like those stories, you should check that out. That's on our page right now. It's like a 12-minute breakdown of just like everything Foxcatcher. Even has like the origin story of the icon, the knife itself that's here in my shop, and all of that type of stuff. So
good.
Check that out if you like that stuff. I know, Todd, you are a fan of like iconography and all the graphics and stuff too. So, and do you have a V1? Because I was going to ask you, Todd, can you tell me the difference between the V1 and the V2's knife logo?
I don't. Do you want me to? Are you asking me to pull it? I can pull that up right now if you want to discuss that.
Sure. I mean, I know that you do like artwork and stuff. I'm sure you can find something
so let's see.
On the Google box.
There it is. Okay. Tony, give me the pedal. I got it. I'll sort this out. Please give me. Tony, please.
Tony, we're calling him out on live air.
Okay, there is one tiny thing.
Yes.
And that is it has a key or like a lanyard loop in the first one. I mean, it does not have a lanyard loop on the right side of the knife, but it does on the...
There are 2 lanyard loops on
You
version
got it,
2.
version 2.
You got it, Tony. Yeah, a little like eyelet for like a keychain or something.
Well, I got him most of the way there. He just used different words.
I used the right words.
Yeah. Yes. Any reason for that?
Jordan did that without even like mentioning it. I think it's because it's the second version, so there's 2 little loops. I think he wanted to do something subtle to kind of give it its own life. But when we were doing this, we actually had a different name for this pedal originally. And then when we got really close to the end, we were like, you know what? We've done all the work for like 8+ years. People know the name. They know the color. They kind of might know the branding. It's like, are we going to start all over again with like SEO and all of that type of work to like have the literature that says introducing blank and then have to go in the whole spiel about the lineage of Foxcatcher and where it came from. We're like, well, we'll just do Foxcatcher V2. We have the powder, we've got the print, we've got the font, we've got the kerning down, we've got all of that type of stuff done. We're going to put it in a new enclosure. And then in doing so, Jordan added that extra little like eyelet for a keychain or whatever. So it was kind of a nice thing to like, you know, have it live it on its own as like a second icon. It was a nice little touch. I figured you'd like as a graphic guy.
I appreciate that. You also went with a pretty standard sans serif font on all of the copy on these ones, all the labels and everything.
That's Jordan's thing. He wants to get into that. The font on Foxcatcher is Coventry Gardens. That was something I picked out because, you know, Jordan likes to call it the Great Gatsby type font.
It is.
It was actually the font used from Jack White's second project with the Raconteurs, the Consolers of the Lonely. So that font came from it, and the name of the company is inspired by that project anyway of his. But when we were working on Fox V1, the knob labels were that same Coventry Gardens, but Jordan wanted to usher in with this new series of pedals, like keeping the fun font for the main thing, but getting I don't remember if he uses Futura or Super Clarendon. I forget what font he's using for it. But he wanted to have a clean sans serif across the board, kind of in the vein that I think Walrus does, where like the knob labels are always the same font, but then they change other stuff. So I think it's a good call because we still want to have fun with the art and like the way that the, you know, it works with everything. But then for the labels, which is like, you know, the meat and potatoes of the UI, having a very clean sans serif font and then having some artwork that accompanies it. That's the very like left brain meets right brain.
Yeah. Well, golly gosh, it's good stuff, man. Now you're going to do, are you doing all of the pedals in this kind of vibe?
You're wondering, like, is our duet stuff going to like transition into a smaller thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, are you going to employ this thinking to your other pedals?
Potentially. I don't think in our queue, like what's on deck isn't going to necessarily be like solo versions of stuff that already exists. But it might. I mean, there's you know, there's a place for it. We want to have like our next things that come out in this form factor kind of be unique or original things for us. So we have a couple things in the queue for that. You know, we've got a mini that we're going to get out early next year and then probably get back to the solo stuff.
You guys do a great job with the minis.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate you having us for the compressor one.
Yeah.
A lot of people, we recently hooked up with one of the guys at the Fender Custom Shop, and he got one because he's like, I just love how simple it is because I want compression to be easy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people do and really liked that. Anybody that's a compressor person that wants easy compression, you can check out Iris. From my understanding, it's a unique compression circuit that I accidentally thought of. And super happy with that. But yeah, the minis, we're going to have something fun come out. And then, yeah, to get back to your question, I think there could be some stuff that, you know, has new life in this new form factor. But I think we also have ideas for new things that we want to get onto the market and kind of in this form factor because in my opinion, you got to have at least two things to really solidify a line.
Yeah.
Branding wise and whatnot. So we want to get, you know, we want to get some brothers and sisters in this line with Foxcatcher.
Absolutely. You've alluded a little bit to things that you have coming up, but have not tipped any hats. I'm assuming that's on purpose, but if not, would you care to tip your hat?
So I would say for some, you know, some foreshadowing or whatnot, the rest of the year is probably going to look like, you know, we got holiday time, so we're going to be doing some stuff for the holiday season. We've got a cool, I think as this episode airs, there might be, the the week after, you'll be able to check out a cool mystery box thing from our friends at Buy or Borrow, where $145 gets you at least $179 to $300 pedal.
That's cool.
Which is going to be really cool. There's some unique Fusion series, which is kind of like our own twist on some of our stuff. So, and there's actually discontinued and rare and never like seen again stuff. Like our dataless reverb is in there. We found one of those and threw it in there.
Oh, wow.
And like, so people can maybe check that out if they're listening to this, and it's early enough. I believe mid-November is when the Buy or Borrow mystery box goes. But as for the rest of the year, it's probably going to be, we have a fun like raffle thing that we're going to be doing towards the end of the year. Starting next year, we're going to do a mini that like a sound we've never ever done before. That's really cool. We're excited to put out. We also have some other like really smart things, I'm calling it, like, things to control CV items and tap tempo things and units like that, like without giving away anything. And we're going to have more utility stuff that's like smart. We also have a really cool collaboration with another pedal company that hopefully will come out next year. People can keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
And hopefully some more DIY stuff as well, maybe next year.
One of the things that I appreciate about Coppersound, and by way of Coppersound, I think you, is that you guys do a really solid job of staying a couple steps ahead of not just yourself, but I think of a lot of the crowd. And it isn't just we got to do something new or we got to do something just different. You put a lot of thinking into the things that you're creating, not just from an audio standpoint, but from a user experience standpoint as well. And I really admire that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that it shows. We really think and often overthink stuff from an artistic point of view and a UI point of view and just experiences for people. We really sweat the small stuff and the details and want to have a good experience for like bedroom players, for live players, touring people. So we want to pack features in that doesn't overwhelm people, can get good sounds, have fun with it, like our smart bypass stuff, or something different like our telegraph and our triple graph octave thing. Like we are actively right now working on some stuff in the background of things that have never existed before from a digital like sound standpoint and also a hardware standpoint. So we're working on some stuff aesthetically that has never been done on the market before. Trying to, I guess, we're putting ourselves to our own test right now of living up to like what we did with the telegraph and the triple graph and stuff like that. Really leaning into the hardware side of things, which itself intrinsically is a bit of a daunting thing because there's so much R&D and there's so much creation and there's so much like from the ground up. It's not, I can go online and buy some pots and switches and an enclosure and make a circuit board and whatnot. It's like, how do I have to go get this custom thing machined that we designed in a CAD program to come in to talk to some hardware in a different way that doesn't necessarily do it. Now we have to design an entire network around it, and kind of like the process of creating the telegraph key from scratch. And when you change one thing, it changes everything else. And then it needs to stand up to the scrutiny of a 200-pound person and people gigging. And it needs to be like bulletproof, but also accessible to people and spark a creative, environment for them and something that's different. And also at the same time, from like a business standpoint of view, something that's eye-catching that draws people in, like our pickguard stuff, where they're like, I know that Strat shape, but it's on a pedal. That's interesting. Like, and that gets people in there and excited. And, they see a telegraph key on a pedal, whether they realize it's with Jack White's name on it or not. They're like, I know what that thing is, but I've never seen that in a pedal, you know. And there's some other people like Game Changer Audio and David Ranger and aesthetically like even Beatronics do. We do it a little bit different with our hardware, so it's closer to like Game Changer, but like we're trying to push ourselves internally to flush out some of these ideas that we have that are, like I said, inherently daunting from an R&D standpoint. But that'll really like, I think we already kind of have our flag in the ground solidly of like being a company that offers great sounding things and fun things, but also does it from a hardware standpoint that's unlike anybody else. So we want to kind of keep that like telegraph train going, the triple graph train going, and offer some fun things in the hardware aspect for like kind of what we've become known for, blending like the digital and analog with a cool hardware thing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, Alex, you and I talked before this episode, and you had a great idea, and I couldn't say yes fast enough. So why don't you lay that on everybody?
Absolutely, yeah. I think I was typing it to you, and I got a text back that said yes before I even sent mine out, which is really...
and specifically, it was Chris Tucker going, "You know this, man."
Yeah. So, as you were mentioning, Todd, I had the idea to say like, "Hey, I sent you guys a Fox V2 to check out, to try. We can talk about it, but I think it'd be fun for your listeners to have the chance to win it." So what we're going to do is we're going to curate for all of the listeners of the show a chance to win the Foxcatcher V2 that is with Todd and Tony right now.
I'm very excited about this, Alex. This is a fantastic pedal. It is super cool that you're doing this. Now, what are the details?
Okay, so for the Foxcatcher giveaway through the Guitar Knobs podcast, what you're going to do is you're going to pull over to the side of the road, so you're not doing it on your phone while driving.
Yes, safety first.
Exactly. So to enter, all you got to do, go to our website. You're going to go to coppersoundpedals.com/guitar knobs. There, you're going to find the entry form. It's going to be super simple. You're going to put in your email address, maybe a little bit of information. You're going to check the box that says, "I want to enter to this cool giveaway," and you're going to hit submit. I don't know how that stuff is done. It's witchcraft. And, I'm not far from Salem, so I can't talk much more about it.
Well, you made it really easy for everybody, and I truly appreciate that.
Now, how long will that be live?
Well, we're going to actually, when you hear this,
yes,
this will be live.
It's live, but how long will it be live?
It is going until the 20th of November.
It is going
November 20th.
At the stroke of midnight on November 20th, of the day of the 20th,
the 21st,
at 11:59 p.m. on November 20th,
things blow up.
It is over.
Okay.
Then we will announce it shortly thereafter.
Excellent idea.
Yes. Outstanding. Thank you so much, Alex.
That is great.
Yeah. Yep. I love this.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought it'd be a nice give back to all of the loyal listeners and just something fun for you guys to do.
We love it. I know that our listeners are always so excited whenever something comes along, and it's like, I get tons of messages and emails. Man, just saying, I really want this. I'm like, I get it.
Yes. I think whoever wins this is going to love it because it really is. Yeah. It's a very intuitive pedal. I mean, I don't like too many bells and switches and knobs and things, but this one, when you look at it, it just makes sense.
It does. And you'll know that it's authentic from our hands because Tony left some graham cracker crumbs in the enclosure.
No, I did not leave them. I got those out. I was hungry.
Yes. Lick them all out. All right, Tony, we're rounding third. We got a whole thing here.
Yes, we do have something.
Yeah.
This part of the show is a little game we play called
Would you rather?
A little slow on the draw, dog.
I know, man.
That's right. Would you rather? The game that everyone's talking about
Today.
This week's Would You Rather ties into, again, to something I was talking about earlier. It seems like Devo is on the road again.
Yes. We're on the road again.
Well, we're on the road again?
Yeah. I think they're off the road now.
Well, but they're back on. They're going to do it.
They're back on.
They're
Got it,
back
'cause
on.
This is
Gotcha. This is the Would You Rather. See how this works, Todd? Do I have to
Tell me
explain it?
more.
Unfortunately, Bob 1 is unable to do a couple of shows.
Okay.
So Mark Mothersbaugh gives you a call and says, "Hey, can you fill in for Bob 1?"
Yeah.
Because there were 2 Bobs in
Right.
Devo, you know.
Yeah.
He says, we need you to have an iconic Devo guitar.
Yes.
But I only have $799 that budget that you can use.
Interesting. If only there were a place to go to get a Devo themed guitar for that amount of money.
Well, you know, Todd,
I do.
our good friend Mike Robinson from Eastwood Guitars
Yes.
happens to have
Love Eastwood guitars.
at least 2 Devo model guitars
Yes.
for $799.
Interesting.
The first is the Eastwood version of the LeBay 2x4,
Uh-huh.
which is really a 2x4 with a neck bolted onto it. It's not a very attractive guitar.
Says you.
Well, maybe somebody likes it. Bob 1 liked it originally.
Yes.
The other option is a Whippet guitar, which is basically, well, it was a Les Paul that Bob 1 cut the horn off and then glued it back on in the opposite direction.
Okay.
It looks like a sad Les Paul.
It's a very sad Les Paul. So,
Well, we're forgetting something though.
what's that?
The cloud guitar.
Well, the cloud guitar, but we can only Would You Rather is 1 or 2.
Right. Okay.
These are the iconic guitars,
Okay.
in my opinion.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. So, would you rather, for a mere $799, purchase the LeBay 2x4 guitar to play with Devo? Or would you rather buy the Whippet guitar with the reversed sad horn to play with Devo?
Right. Okay. Well, you go ahead, Tony. You
Okay.
started first.
All right. Well, I have played a LeBay 2x4, a real one.
Yes.
And I don't find them very comfortable.
Well, it's
It's a 2x4.
a 2x4.
So I think I'm going to rule that one out. And even though it's a sad Les Paul, I think that's the one I'm going with because it actually, I would think, would have the playability. Now, let's just say, I'll go on the record saying is Eastwood Guitars does some little tweaks and things to make them feel and play a lot
Yes,
better and
yes.
sound better too sometimes. So I'm going to go with the Whippet reverse horn Les Paul.
Okay. Done. Alex?
All right, so it's funny. I can't not smile when I look at this 2x4 guitar. It's so funny. So I'm gonna go for 2 reasons. I'm gonna go with actually the LeBay for this one. Actually, I guess a couple. The main reason is I'm not really. I don't listen to Devo, but when I do think of them, I think of more outside of the box and unique. And I feel like between the two, this is more unique. So if I was going to try to put my Devo hat or helmet or whatever on,
Flower pot.
I would think this. Even though I do agree with Todd, you and Tony about maybe the Les Paul has more of a traditional comfort feel and it might feel more, at home. I would, from a personal standpoint, I would end up going with the 2x4 over the Les Paul because I don't like humbuckers.
Fair play.
So and this has what looks like P90
I think
style.
they're
Yeah.
P90s on the Eastwoods. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that'd be the reason I go. I'm going to go with the 2x4.
I too am going to go with the Lube 2x4.
I see.
Because for what Alex kind of tapped into, which is it is.
How about you, Todd?
Well played.
Yes.
Because I think that would force me to play it different, and so it almost begs to be played in a more like stilted kind of herky-jerky kind of way, you know, as opposed to like, the Les Paul's going to feel like a Les Paul kind of slung down low, and you're going to do your typical stuff. Okay. That's what I'm doing.
All right.
I like it.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
But would you rather have that or the cloud guitar?
Oh.
This is an aside.
This one.
The Lube.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
I'm doing that. Good one, Tony.
All righty.
All right. We need to thank a few people, Tonebone.
That's correct, because at this point of the show is a special group of people we love to thank. These are our executive producers. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you become an executive producer? It's quite simple. You head over to patreon.com.
Like Ed Rossler.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm going to talk about him in a second. Patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs, and check out a couple different levels in which you can participate. Become a sponsor, a friend, a hero of the podcast. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win great stuff. But above and beyond that, there's one more thing I'm told.
You get to have your name read on the thing.
Your name read on the thing. That's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: Anthony Lathrop, Brett Hogarth, Cameron Pampas, Darren Gregory, Don Kloss, Elad Mizrahi, James Bell, James White, John Esterly from Rare Buzzer Effects, John Sebastian, John Halverson, Justin Jones, Ken Sayers, Michael Senchuk, Mike Davenport, Owen Eads, Pluton, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Mm-hmm. Richard Kendall, Rick Calhoun, Rusty Sneeden, Stefan Lamb, Tom Barazin, Trevor Ellenberg, Trevor Gunberg, Vader and Pedals, Caribou Gone, and new this week, as Todd alluded to, Mr. Ed Rossler.
Dig it, man.
Welcome aboard, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very much. But you know, Todd, there's more. We have a special group of executive producers. We call them our Grand Poobahs. These are the creme de la creme, the top of the heap, the A number ones, and they wear a fez upon their head whilst listening to this podcast. So special thanks to these Grand Poobahs. Anthony Gemalero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robison, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Gregory Randall, Hex Matos, John Williams, Martin Cliff, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi. Did I say that wrong?
Yep. Nope.
I said it right.
Michio
Yes.
Murakishi.
Okay, thank
What's
you.
up, Michio?
Hey, what's going on, man? Moon Guitars, Pedro Vasquez, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, James Pennington, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wow Pickups, Jonathan Labate from M2 Labs, Ty Barnes, James Castellano, and our good friend Kenny Howe.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yes. We need to say a ginormous thanks to Alex and the entire Coppersound team for making awesome stuff and sharing their fearless leader's time tonight. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you for continuing to have me. Appreciate it.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes.
Bring out the room.
I'm
Bring
gonna
out the
say that
Roomba
to my
again.
wife tonight when I get home. Exactly like you said. Oh, that's too funny. Anyways, yes, we absolutely love you guys, and we're glad that you are out there doing your thing. Where can people go to find all of the cool things you make?
Let's see. So we're on eHarmony, and no, we got social media stuff like your Facebooks, Instagrams, that type of stuff. You can follow along on our newsletter, which is usually the best way to see what's new and exclusive and limited. We do some fun drops and deals and things of that nature. You can find us on YouTube, website, coppersoundpedals.com. If you're ever been interested in building or getting your feet wet, you should check out our Short Circuit series, which is done by Josh Scott over at JHS, where he uses all of our cool DIY bits and bobs to make pedals, either modified or from scratch, that type of stuff. And if you want to just follow along with some cool things, like I said, the newsletter is probably the best. Plus, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook primarily. And, appreciate you getting this far into the episode and coming along for the ride. And check out Foxcatcher V2 and enter that giveaway like we talked about.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Do that. Do it, man. Okay, Tony.
Yes?
Where can people find the things you do?
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff that I do. What do? I make custom pick guards for guitars. How do you get one? You shoot me an email. You let me know what you're doing, what you need, what material you want, what pickups you're using, what LeBay 2x4 you're going to be playing. Mm-hmm. And I'll make something very special for you. Excellent. You know, as Todd likes to say, it's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
I dig it. All right. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram. Tell us all the things you love that you hate about anything. We don't get whatever. We just want to connect with you. When it comes down to it, that's what it's about. And
how about some would you rathers?
You send us your would you rathers so Tony doesn't have to think of them all. We've gotten some great ones in the past. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Please make sure you sign up for this. It's a great pedal, and these are great people making it. So I think that's it. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Subscribe.
So there you go.
I do like
believe
popcorn.
in fact, I had popcorn before I came down here today.
Yeah. Now, on a note of popcorn, I've transitioned into olive oil, salt, and pepper.
I have the stupidest ideas.
I mean, it's on your shirt.
I'm with stupid?
I'm telling you, dude, try it. It will change.
Well, I mean,
your life.
I make popcorn using olive oil.
No, that's different.
What are you doing then?
You drizzle it all over the popcorn and then put salt and pepper and you toss it all up. It is flipping fantastic.
You were talking about New England. Are you familiar with Jonathan Richman's New England song?
I don't think so.
You have to listen to it. It is so good. I love Jonathan Richman.
There is a 0.05% chance he's going to do that.
See, if I was going to go to that trouble, I'd go with truffle oil.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No. Don't fall in
It's
for
like
that
I'm in the
nonsense.
episode right now. It's like I'm in the episode right now.
I'm affording it to Alex.
Okay.
If you want.
Alex.
If you're okay with it, Todd.
I'm okay with that.
Alex, are you okay with
since
that?
You already let the cat out of the bag.
Meow.
I don't support failure. But yet Tony's here. So
I don't like greasy popcorn. I don't like butter
it doesn't
on my
have
popcorn.
to be greasy.
But if you drizzle the oil on the popcorn, it's going to get greasy.
A little bit. Popcorn soaks stuff up, man.
It's going to be greasy.
Yeah, like if you have an oil spill, you put popcorn on it.
Yeah, like
do
that's
you?
what the janitors.
There you go. Whoa, is the Millennium Falcon taking off there? What's going on?
Chewy left thruster.
That's our shop vacuum, kind of like a Roomba type of thing.
Oh.
It's just emptying. It gets a little enema at the end of the night.
Ooh.
Just like Tony.
Yes.
No, my go-to is actually if I'm gonna not have just dry popcorn, is Parmesan cheese.
Dry popcorn.
I've done that, and now, but here's my thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can try this.
He has a hard time eating the popcorn because the Parmesan cheese can get stuck in his mouth. Yes.
Hey, wait a minute. Was that an insult? I do a combination of salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika.
No.
Yes. Oh,
Not
my
making
God.
goulash, dude.
It's like well, okay. That's very funny. I've done the Parmesan cheese before.
So dismissive.
That's very good, Todd. Go back to your corner. So if you were the fox, you would be caught by this pedal.
That's what my name means in Old English.
What?
Yeah, it's true. That's why the name in Fox and the Hound, his name's Todd.
Oh, Todd. I thought you meant Novak.
No. That just means awesome in Old English.
Yeah, right. That means pain in the ass. And don't forget to listen to Jonathan Richman, New England.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on. I definitely didn't forget.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.